good evening everyone, and welcome to Chapman High School, the site of today's JV matchups between the Chapman Panthers and the Clinton Red Devils. It got, really quiet, really fast in here. They shut the intro off. Not really sure why. They were going through all the, the stock motions and whatnot, and then just kind of shut off in the middle of it. So now it feels like a golf match or something, but do apologize for the video quality today. We got a little overzealous, thought we could use a new camera, when in reality that new camera had some serious flaws that, no, it wasn't even we, it was me. I completely overlooked those flaws, so the picture quality is going to look a little better, but the frame rate is absolutely horrendous. We're going to change the cameras, preferably at halftime, but until then, just bear with us. Hopefully we'll get that sorted out within the next half hour or so. Looks like we are just a few moments removed from tip-off. A few updates to the Chapman roster, so I've been told. Although, looking over this, it doesn't look that different from the one I received earlier in the year. I think we got a few new additions, but that's about it. All right, and looks like we are ready for the tip-off here. Looks to be Michaela Harden going up against. Let me pull up Clinton's roster real quick. Clinton seems to have at least gotten the better of that one. There's a foul almost immediately, and a shooting foul no less, so Clinton headed straight to the line. I mean, from the word go, 4 seconds come off the clock, and we've already got a foul. This is number 14, only listed as Fantasia on the roster. We'll have to get some last names, because I don't want to call people I don't know personally by their first names. This is Fantasia something at the line. First shot, no good. Second shot, no good. Up for grabs and brought back in by Kayla Harden. She gets it over to Whitesides. Oh, man. Wonky pass there. I mean, Whitesides threw it right to number 11 there. Hops out of bounds, and now Grace McDaniel going to try to make something happen. Really flinging it down the court. That is number 12, Reagan Tollison, and then it heads out of bounds, headed right back to Clinton. So, man, it feels like we've been live for a couple minutes already. Only 16 seconds off the clock. And Clinton making their way back down the court, but now kind of slowing things down, really slinging it over to number 4. And now trying to work the inside, off the mark, and brought back in by one of the Panthers. That is number 34. I believe that is one of many number changes that went through the roster. That was the update. I think there might be one new player, I'm not sure, but other than that, just a lot of number changes. That is Adeline West making the rebound there, and Reagan Tollison has it taken away. Grace McDaniel there to bring it back in. And now West tries to send it inside to Harden, and that one didn't have much of a shot anyway. Too tall for Harden, headed out of bounds. Tollison did what she could to keep it in play, but it was headed out of bounds anyway. So Clinton will take over once again. 47 seconds off the clock, no points. And up for grabs once again. Brought back in by number 14, or 14 gets it to 11, now over to number 3. That's Hannah Gary. And Gary, throws it right up for grabs, taken away by McDaniel, and McDaniel, too much heat on that shot. Not able to secure the first points of the game. Brought back in by Clinton, then taken away again by Adeline West, trying to get it to Whitesides, and Whitesides can't hang on. So now Clinton still looking for some points. This one loose, and I think we got a foul going against Katie Whitesides on that one. Yeah, they're going to call an illegal push. No, it looks like it's actually going to Chapman here. So a push against Clinton. Whitesides checks this one into McDaniel. 90 seconds off the clock, still no points. And McDaniel gets it outside to Whitesides. Whitesides, not sure if he was trying to go for Hardin or West on that one, but it heads out of bounds. Right back to the Red Devils. And up for grabs. We got a foul already. I didn't see anything on that one. But we are going back to Chapman now. Katie Whitesides will try to check this one in, gets it over to McDaniel, and now McDaniel, under some duress, finds West on the inside. West just sends it up, off the mark, and brought back in by the Red Devils. That is number 5 getting it over to 11. And now we got 2 substitutions on the ready for Chapman. Try and get some numbers on those for a second. I believe one is Holly Addington. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, man, what a play by Hardin. Knocked that one right out of the passing lane. And still kind of up for grabs. And now we've got a stoppage. Timeout. We'll take one with them. Still trying to get a couple things sorted out on our end. Apologize if we can't come back quite immediately. All right, so we're back. 3:40 off the clock. One foul for either side, but no points. And Clinton's going to look to get something set up. 15 under some heat. Really got to get that one away from McDaniel. Now it's loose, overthrown, but brought back in by Gary. And now Gary tries to drive inside, and they're going to call out a foul against Kayla Hardin. Looked like it could have gone either way. Either a foul or traveling. They're going to give it to Clinton, but it's not a shooting foul. And now Kayla Hardin will exit the game for the Lady Panthers. She's replaced by Adeline West. Those substitutions from earlier were number 42, Kaylee Jackson, and Paulie Arrington. And didn't see who that was, but Clinton able to draw first blood in this one, sinking the first points of the game. And now McDaniel has it taken right away by Clinton, still up for grabs, just slinging that one up, off the mark, and brought back in by Jackson. Now Jackson under some heat, lost the ball, still loose, and it looks like Clinton is indeed going to get it back. This is number 15 driving for the goal, and she gets it, and just like that, Clinton goes up 4-0. And so, oh no, Chapman airmails it out of bounds again. So with 2:41 left, it will go back to the Red Devils. All right, and we have secured the resources we need to switch cameras. I'm not going to be able to do that during the game, but at halftime, we're going to get those switched out. It's not a long process, just not something that lends itself well to basketball, really swapping out during a game. But rest assured, this choppy frame rate will not last too much longer. 2:25 on the clock in the first. Whiteside's going to try to find an open teammate, gets it over to Addington. And now Addington got it back to Whitesides. Whitesides had it knocked out of her hand. McDaniel keeps it in play. Nice play. And now right over to McDaniel again. McDaniel, I think that's West. Yeah, driving inside. Oh, that was way off, and she gets called for traveling anyway. Chapman really struggling on offense so far. Separation has been a big issue, but I don't know, it's almost like some of the morning games we saw during the JV and Battle at the Border tournaments this year. I mean, they just don't look woke up. Whiteside's trying to block that shot. Got enough pressure in there to force the incompletion. Brought back in by the Panthers. Whiteside's gets it to McDaniel. Now McDaniel finds Addington. Back to McDaniel. And going for three. Oh, man, what a shot! Off balance. Man, that was special. Just what the doctor ordered for the Lady Panthers, too. 4-3 with 90 seconds on the clock in the first. Whiteside's trying to take that one away. Can't get it going. And now Clinton flipping it around. Whiteside's really putting some heat on. Oh, and with the takeaway. Or check that, that's McDaniel again. Gets it over to West, and now West wants back out. Goes inside. Jackson has that one knocked away, but it's going to be a shooting foul against the Red Devils. So Kaylee Jackson headed to the line. And now Chapman is going to have a chance to take the lead here. And that first shot. 70 seconds on the clock. Look away for 1 second. It looks like that shot was no good. Second shot is good. So make it a tied game, 4-4 with 70 seconds to go in the first. Clinton with a little miscommunication, just kind of throwing it up for grabs, and it works out for him this time. Oh, but not for long. Tried to hammer that one inside the paint. Teammate was not ready for it. Bounced off her hands, and Chapman has it back once again. 60 seconds on the clock. Reagan Tollison back in the game for the Lady Panthers, but this is Whitesides has that shot blocked and taken away by Clinton. And it looks like they're going to have a chance to set up for this one, or kind of ran out of time there at the end, but it looks like this is going to be a shooting foul against Grace McDaniel. So once again, number 14 headed to the line. Again, not entirely sure on the full name of these players. 14 is listed as Fantasia something on the roster. Only had first names for a lot of these players. And I don't want to call people I don't know by their first name, so it is just number 14 for the time being. First shot is no good, so we're still tied up. Clinton can take a lead with a successful free throw here, though. And she was really standing back for that one, and actually overshot a little bit. Brought back in by the Red Devils, though. And now kind of looking around for an opening. That is Gary sending it inside off the mark, and now really up for grabs. And McDaniel's the one that comes down with it. And getting it. Oh, man, Jackson had a free lane at the goal and could not hang on to the pass from McDaniel. Goes out of bounds, and just like that, it is back to Clinton. The Red Devils have really controlled time of possession so far, and not really, it hasn't been intentional on there, and I think it really just speaks to the way Chapman has struggled turning it over so far in this one. The Lady Panthers have really just not held the ball for long. And now Adeline West, maybe even in time of possession out. Panthers, yeah, they're trying to run some clock here. 8 seconds, 7-6. And now McDaniel kind of running out of time. Tollison just heaves it up for three off the mark, but the buzzer will sound and bring an end to a defensively minded first period. 4-4 after the first 6 minutes.
Welcome to Chapman High School. Please listen closely to the following announcement. Spartanburg 1 is working to help keep our community safe from the spread of COVID-19. Please help us comply with the South Carolina High School guidelines by wearing a face covering throughout the duration of tonight's game. We also ask that you practice social distancing by positioning yourself on the road in the
Again, I'd like to apologize for the issues we're having with the frame rate. That was 100% on me, not anybody's fault other than my own. I got a little overzealous, thought we could use a different camera. We could not use a different camera, at least not effectively. So the picture quality is a little better than usual, but the frame rate, or the sacrifice we have to make to the frame rate in order to get that quality, is absolutely not worth the trade-off. We will be switching back to our normal camera at halftime. And just as a PSA for all you videographers out there, if you ever decide to try and use a DSLR camera to stream something, you're out of luck. It does not work. That is the issue we're having right now. Stick to cameras designed for filming rather than photography. Until then, Clinton not able to get anything done on their opening possession. 43 seconds come off the clock, and Reagan Tolleson actually got fouled there. That makes 4 fouls on the half for Clinton, and now Tolleson will have a chance to knot things up here, or actually take the lead, excuse me. Tolleson did have a shot attempt earlier at the end of the first. It was off the mark, and this one bounces around, falls out. Still tied at 4. And this to take the lead, yes. And Chapman make it 5 unanswered, actually. Clinton jumped out to a 4-0 lead early in the first, and then kind of stalled out. I think all 4 of their points came within the span of maybe 40 seconds, but I think they're going to have a chance to knot some more here. McDaniel called for another foul, and now another Red Devil headed to the line. That is either number 3 or number 13. Believe, yeah, there is no 13 on the Clinton roster. So Hannah Gary at the line for the Red Devils. 5:07 on the clock, and the second Gary shot is good. Second one can take the lead, but not before. Man, both sides making a lot of substitutions here, at least on Chapman's end. Number 24. Number 24, L. White, a new addition to the roster, or at least one that was not on the roster when we started out the season. Madison Elrod in as well for Chapman, and neither of them making an impact on that possession. Turned over by Katie Whitesides, and now Clinton sends it up off the mark, and rebounding their own shot a third time. That is number 32, listed only as Jordan. And 32 was fouled, so with 4:49 left to go in the second period, Clinton will have yet another shot to take the lead. And that one off to the right. Got another substitution for the Red Devils. Maya Barr enters the game, and check that number 4. Madison Elrod is on the varsity roster. That is Madison Blackwell. And that second shot for the Red Devils is good. So Clinton back on top now. Katie Whitesides trying to box out a defender, flips it over to West, and now West tried to split some defenders, and I think they're going to call out a swatting foul against Clinton, so to stay with Chapman. 4:39 on the clock in the second period. Whitesides gets it inside to West again, and too much heat on that shot. Rebounded by Kaylee Jackson. She gets it outside to Blackwell, and Blackwell almost had the long two. It's a little off to the left. Brought back in by the Red Devils, and now Barr sending it up and off the mark, rebounded by Jackson. So right back to the Panthers, or maybe not for long. Looks like Clinton knocked it out of bounds. And I would imagine, yes, this is going to stay with Chapman. Blackwell will check it into Whitesides, and for all intents and purposes, we are back to square one with 4:15 on the clock in the second. Kayla Harding getting ready to sub in for the Lady Pan. Oh, no, White was open on the bank, and they just could not get it to the ball. A little off to the side, hops out of bounds, and what could have been a really nice three-point window goes out the window. Clinton able to take over. And that is the 4-minute mark in the second period. And And that, man, they just ripped that one right away. Madison Blackwell making her way down the court, but as it knocked out of her hand, it will stay with the Panthers. Number 5, I think, almost, yeah, I mean, that is textbook forced fumble stuff right there. Just punching the ball out from behind. And Blackwell, nice setup, overshoots the long 2, though, rebounded by Clinton. And now making their way down the court. 25 with the long 2, no. And this one will go back to the Panthers. So after really turning the ball over a lot in that first period and not controlling time of possession because of it, we're starting to seeing a little flipping of the script, but not a lot of difference in the scoreboard. Both offenses still struggling regardless of who's possessing the ball. Only 3 combined points so far in the past 2.5 minutes between both teams. 2 for Clinton, 1 for Chapman. 3:22 left on the clock in the second. And going inside, 25, fell over as she was getting that to one of her teammates, and then Harden gets fouled, trying to go coast to coast. So Kayla Harden will head to the line. And now Chapman will have a chance to retake the lead here. Points have been, I mean, it's an understatement to say that they've been at a premium so far. So making both these shots absolutely pivotal. First one, though, off the mark. Chapman can still tie with the successful attempt here, though, and now Clinton making a substitution. 25 exiting, replaced by number 23, listed only as Z. Not sure if that is a first name or a last name. Second shot from Harden is good. Game is tied at 6. And that one off the mark, but brought back in by the Red Devils. Narrowly avoiding another turnover there. Now working from the inside. 14, no. Rebounded by Blackwell. Blackwell gets it to McDaniel, and now McDaniel going to flip it outside to Tollison, who wanted to go for 3 instead, has it knocked out of her hand. Clinton says it's their ball. It looks like it's going to stay with the Panthers, though. And indeed, Reagan Tollison will check this one in. Trying to go inside to Jackson. Jackson is able to secure it, but gets it outside to Blackwell. Now Blackwell goes for the long 3, off the mark. Brought back in by Jackson. Now Harden sends it up. Too much heat on that one. Up for grabs. Tollison secures it. Tries to get it to McDaniel, and McDaniel able to get back in. And now McDaniel, wonky pass. Not sure if she was, it looked almost like she was trying to shoot for 3 and then second guessed herself. But Chapman avoids another turnover. Tollison checks it back into McDaniel, and McDaniel tries to cut out the middleman and drive inside, but has it knocked away. And now the Lady Panthers really just looking for any kind of opening they can find, and none to be found there. Looks like we got another foul going against the Red Devils. I think they're saying this is still going to stay with Chapman. Or they're going to call out, a shooting foul actually against Clinton. So Madison Blackwell headed to the line. She's gotten close on some long shots so far, has not sunk any of them yet. We'll see if she can get some momentum here. Any points will take the lead, and that first shot rolls out. Oh, and Chapman's in the bonus now. I had totally lost track of the foul count, so that was Blackwell's shot. 2:23 on the clock. Chapman has fouled Clinton 6 times, so I imagine the bonus will play a factor for both teams. Oh, and just cutting out the middleman, going right for the 3-pointer. This one off the mark, but brought back in by Clinton, trying to work the inside, sending it up. Too much heat, and up for grabs. I think they're going to call out a jump ball and give it to Chapman. No. Yeah, interesting. They call out a shooting foul. Looked like they were all trying to go for the rebound to me. But Hannah Gary at the line here. Again, any points are going to take the lead and could be the deciding factor, in all honesty. Given how low scoring this game has been so far. Man, they can just feel the pressure, even on these free throws right now. Oh, and a nice shot there from Gary to take the lead, 7-6. And Chapman making another substitution. White back in the game. White sides, checks out, and now they're switching it up again. Blackwell's going to put this one in. And she gets it over to White. And that Clinton defense kind of bails out. Now Harden trying to get it inside to Reagan Tollison. Tollison wants out, has that one batted away and taken away by the Red Devils. And then I think Blackwell fouled somebody inside. 1:55 on the clock. And I think they're going to give it back to Clinton, but on the other side of the court. And nope, they're going to rule this one in favor of Chapman, actually. Both teams at 7 fouls now, and this one going right back to the Panthers. White going to try to check it in now, and man, passed it right to one of those Red Devil defenders, and then taken away again by Adeline West, only to be taken away a third time, and now Clinton making a beeline to the goal. First shot off the mark, second shot from Gary is good, and Clinton goes up by 3 with, I think we had some issues with the clock there. I don't know that they're going to reset it. 1:34 on there now. Looked like somebody might have stepped out a few seconds earlier. And Madison Blackwell going to try to find an open lane. And she gets it to White. White making her way, and that clears out, and then she misses the layup. Chapman has been, again, they've been putting too much heat on those short shots so far, and then I think White tried to make that adjustment and then didn't put enough on it. But it looks like we got yet another shooting foul, or at least a free throw attempt coming up for Kayla Harden. Katie Whiteside's getting ready to check in, and there she is in relief. Or no, check that. That is Polly Addington coming in relief of Madison Blackwell. Not sure if this is going to be one shot or two. Didn't see the signal from the referee. 79 seconds on the clock, and that shot is good. And it will be a one-off, 79 on the clock. And nope, now they take that point off the board. And Clinton really hightailing it down the court now, showing some speed that they have not shown so far, and it pays off. Up by 5, biggest lead of the game for either team. 60 seconds remain. Chapman got to find a way to do something with it. West on the move and gets fouled. We're going to call that a push against Clinton. So Adeline West will head to the line. In the meantime, Kaylee Jackson getting ready to sub in, just out of frame. Again, these foul shots pivotal at this point, and West able to cut the lead down to 4. And she'll have a second shot coming up. 55.6 on the clock. Chapman not in the double bonus yet, but they have been fouled 9 times. Could play a factor moving forward. Second shot, no good. Clinton will take over. And almost taken away there by Addington, and Addington not quite backing off yet. And that shot from the free throw line, no good, and then able to put it in is the center. So out to a 6-point lead for Clinton. Nobody is led by 3 possessions yet. And in the game, this is, oh man, and White sends it out of bounds. She was on the receiving end of a pass like that earlier, and now sends one out of bounds herself. So Chapman turns it over with 30 seconds to go in the first half, and with this Clinton offense rolling. Although that shot off the mark, it will stay with Clinton. And they set up Gary for the three. It is no good. Rebounded by the center. And then rebounded again. Still up for grabs. And, man, West could not react fast enough there. That was... Clinton did what they could to try and pass that one in, and it hit West right in the chest, but she couldn't hang on to it, or couldn't grab onto it fast enough. So counts as Chapman touching it, and it goes right back to Clinton. 14 seconds on the clock, and they're able to sink another two-pointer. Up by 8. Clinton has almost tripled their scoring output from the first period, but this will put a dent in their plans to extend their lead. Traveling called against Gary. Chapman's going to get it back with 3.6 seconds left. Grace McDaniel not in the game. She did hit a 3 earlier, and now Kayla Harden's going to try line drive, and she's got it. And that will bring an end to the second half, but Chapman able to end it with some momentum. Great shot there by Harden. So we will get our camera switched out. If you see the video feed freeze, that is why. But trust me, it'll look a lot better when we do come back. In the meantime, headed into the locker room, we have got a low-scoring affair with a lot of turnovers. Clinton up 15-10 over Chapman back in 10 minutes for the start of the second half. Tripod now on the bottom. Oh, that is so much better. Yeah, back up. Yeah. That's good. All right, and I guess that was the trade-off because they started the game about 10 minutes late, and then halftime seems to have been cut in half, so looks like we'll get started here in just a moment. Until then, we'll find the controller. There we go. We got our camera fixed up, and just in time, again, man, they are really starting off today. And Chapman coming right out of the gate with a three-point attempt. Nothing doing, though. Though I'm certainly glad they're already coming out a bit more aggressively than they did in that first half. They played it very safe from an offensive standpoint. A lot of stuff from inside the paint and not a lot to show for it. Clinton, though, doesn't look to have changed their approach too terribly much. Have not seen a lot of three-point attempts for either side. Clinton, in particular, has definitely strayed away from them so far. And, man, almost sent that one out of bounds. Nice job by the Red Devils to keep that one in play. And now Gary sets up for a long two. That one off the mark and brought back in by Katie Whitesides for the Lady Panthers. And now Whitesides, oh, a little shoe shine action. Bounced off her foot and kicked it out of bounds. Just like that, it's headed back to the Red Devils. And driving inside. Not sure if that was a pass or a shot, but either way, it's taken away by the Lady Panthers. Adeline West airmailed it down the court, trying to get it over to Grace McDaniel. Instead, it's taken away, but then we got a stoppage, and it looks like it's going to go back to the Lady Panthers. And Madison Blackwell gets it over to West. And West has that one taken away. We got a man going coast to coast, and she's got it. Number 11 able to notch the first points of the second half, 90 seconds in. 17-10, Clinton back on top by 3 possessions. And they almost took that one away too. This one will go back to the Lady Panthers zone. And now Reagan Tollison going to give it a whirl, and she has that one knocked out of bounds. And Tollison gets it over to Hardin, and Hardin gets it. Man, great play there by Whitesides to keep it in bounds, but Hardin cannot do the same. Chapman struggling to get out of their own way so far. And I think we got a timeout called by the Lady Panthers. 4:17 on the clock. Clinton up 17-10. And Chapman finally able to notch a response score. Nope, that is Clinton. I was looking at the wrong end of the court. And Tollison goes down awkwardly and somehow gets it over to Whitesides. Separation has been a huge issue for the Panthers, and it continues to be one. Adeline West trying to throw a block, and yeah, they're going to call that a foul. She had her hands up, but other than that, did not make much of an effort to keep moving, just kind of planted her feet, and that was enough to draw the whistle. So Clinton going to have a chance to go up by 10 here, and they pull that off. Can they make it 11? 4-possession game regardless of what happens on this shot. Second shot off the mark, rebounded by, that is Kaylee Jackson. Jackson gets it to Blackwell, who gets it to Whitesides, and now Whitesides taking a step back to examine the defense and sends it over to West, almost taken away by Clinton instead. West shoots off the mark. Wow, what a shot! It went straight up. Lead goes back down to 8. So here we go again. Clinton trying to respond. Not this time. Not the second time. Third time's the charm. Nope. And still up for grabs. Madison Blackwell has a shot. And she got fouled, but Chapman will hang on. Blackwell has that one tipped and knocked out of bounds. And Blackwell finds Jackson, this time back to Blackwell for 3. Oh, and it rolls out of the rim. And then Blackwell takes away a pass only to have that shot go off the mark and eventually make its way back to Clinton. Grace McDaniel checking in for the first time in a while, it seems. Katie Whiteside's out for the time being. 3 minutes to go in the third period. 9 minutes in total. Still very much anybody's game, given how well both defenses have played. But Chapman's offense got to find some kind of spark. And now this is Mia Barr off the mark. It would have been a long 2. And then Madison Blackwell has that one stolen away. Barr going to get a second chance and gets fouled. And that first shot is good, 9-point game. And it'll stay at 9. So, 3-possession contest. Chapman looking to do something about it. Kayla Harden going really long over to Jackson, and now Jackson under some duress. Gets it to McDaniel, and now McDaniel under some heat, finds Harden. Harden kind of sends it outside to Jackson. Now back to McDaniel, who just slings it up and almost made it. Instead, I think Jackson got fouled on the rebound there. So Chapman gonna have a chance to check it in here, and this has been a major obstacle for him, particularly in the second half. They've had a lot of trouble getting the separation they need to get plays started. Let's see what they've got drawn up here. Blackwell sends it right inside to Jackson, and it rolls in. 7-point game, 21-14 with 2:10 left to go in the third. And a little sidestep there from one of the Red Devils, and then it gets airmailed out of bounds right back to the Lady Panthers. McDaniel almost lost it, gets it back outside to Whitesides, who gets it to Harden inside to Whitesides, and got hit as she shot that one. And now Katie Whitesides headed to the line, 1:53 on the clock in the third. First shot is good. Back down to a 2-score game. And Kaylee Jackson exits for the time being. She is replaced by Adeline West. And, yeah, I think that was Gary kind of wobbling around on the line, stepped inside the paint before that shot came off. So second attempt, or a second chance on the second shot for Whitesides. And the noise gets to her this time as well, but rebounded by Kayla Harden, gets it to Blackwell, and Blackwell airmails it and taken away by Clinton. And now Gary making her way down the court, and that one is taken away. Batted up by Harden, and then into the hands of Blackwell. Back to Harden now, who's trying to go coast to coast and has it knocked out of bounds. Chapman will hang on, but again, now they're going to have to check it in, and they have had some trouble with this. Clinton making a couple of substitutions here. And that one tipped and into the arms of Whitesides, who gets called for traveling even though she was falling down. Interesting turn of events there. Goes back to Clinton, but the clock didn't stop. I don't know if they're going to fix that. Yeah, I think they're looking at it now because it was stopped. It was supposed to have stopped at 1:34. Yeah, there's the whistle. Oh no, they're just going to let it go. Never mind. So lost about 15 seconds there. 75 on the clock. Gary thought about shooting, instead goes over to, that's Barr, and Barr cannot connect. Brought back in by Adeline West, who gets forced out of bounds, and they're going to give it back to the Red Devils. And Gary for two, nope. And taken in by Adeline West. West gets it McDaniel, and McDaniel shoots off kilter, misses, but brought back in by Kaylee Jackson. Jackson gets it to White over the Whitesides, and Whitesides has that one knocked out. Still loose, headed across half court, and they're going to let it keep going. Whitesides drives inside and gets fouled. So it'll still be a two-possession game regardless of how many of these she makes, but Katie Whitesides can get the lead down to 4 if she makes both of these. 21-15, still the score with 37.3 seconds left to go in the third period. Whitesides went 1 for 2 on her last set, sinks the first 1 5-point game. And that one bounces in. 4-point game, 21-17. And I think we've got, nope, just substitutions, no timeout. Grace McDaniel exits the game. Reagan Tollison replaces her. And now it looks like we've got a timeout. This one taken by the Red Devils. All right, so here we go. Clinton's got it. 30 seconds on the clock in the third. And really tried to drive inside. Now they get it back out. And they're going to try to go inside again. Didn't have a lot of time to set up for that shot, though, and it is off the mark. Brought back in by the Lady Panthers. Whitesides really having a tightrope it down the court, but stays in bounds. Gets it to Tollison. Now Tollison overshoots that one, rebounded by Jackson. Oh, and ripped right out of her hands. And now Clinton got a free lane to the goal, and they put it in. And that will bring an end to the third period. The defensive struggle continues, 23-17. Clinton extends their lead by 1 in that period. Last 6 minutes coming up here in just a moment. So here we go. This 2 decide the winner. 6 minutes on the clock. And Clinton starting out fast. Gary almost has that one taken away. Goes inside, and I think we got a traveling call. Yep. So take those potential points off the board. They'll go to Chapman. White will check this one in. McDaniel gets it to Adeline West, who gets it outside. White sets up for 3 and short hops it, and it's brought back in by the Red Devils. And then almost taken away by Whitesides. Clinton is able to secure it though. And now everybody back on that end of the court. Gary makes somebody miss and shoots a little to the left. Rebounded by the center, rebounded again, and third time's the charm. Clinton back on top by 3 possessions. 25-17 with 5:10 to go. And this one taken away by the Red Devils. Only to be taken away again by White, and then taken away a third time, or at least knocked out. And they're going to call out a foul, I believe, against Clinton. And yep, Madison Blackwell headed over to the sideline to check this one in. She and Kayla Harden in the game now for the Lady Panthers. 23 exiting for Clinton. And that pass bounces around a little bit, does get inside, and then Blackwell shot a little too far to the left, and then Gary got really overzealous trying to get the steal there. Fouls West. And now Blackwell will try to check it in a second time. They get it right to Adeline West, and she misses. Brought back in by Clinton. And now Chapman really trying to get this takeaway. And an off-kilter shot by the center. Goes in the second time, though, and now it's a 10-point game. 4:40 on the clock. Chapman down by 4 possessions now. Blackwell just slings it up, and no. Still loose, and that was a nice balancing act, but no dice. It'll stay with Chapman. And there goes the JV boys team. They'll be taking the court at probably 7:30. And McDaniel slings it off the mark, and it lands in the hands of one of those Red Devils. They have really been winning the rebound game so far. And a lot of them haven't been very contested ones. Most of the rebounds they've gotten, at least on Chapman's end of the court, have been shots that just went off the rim and landed right in their hands. And a little turnaround shot from 22. This one off the mark, but man, that center really taking control of this one. 29-17, riding possibly on the wall for Chapman. Still a 4-possession game. But this one off the mark again, rebounded by Clinton. Reagan Tollison in now, but gets caught with her hips turned the wrong way. Can't keep up, going down the court, and pays for it. 31-17 now, and nobody down there to check it in for Chapman. And Coach Colson forced to call a timeout. 3:52 on the clock. 14-point game. Chapman down by 5 possessions. Got to figure out some kind of setup play. They definitely have the whiteboards out over there. Kayla Harden hit if you remember back at the end of the first half, Kayla Harden hit a three-pointer with almost no setup. Line drive, really good-looking shot. Probably the best shot Chapman has had all game. And I don't know if they consciously set something up or just said get open because there's not really enough time to set something up. But whatever magic they conjured up on that play, they're going to need in these closing minutes for sure. Interesting to note that, at least off the top of my head, I know there have not been more than 2 3-point attempts for Chapman so far in the second half. They have really been content to play from inside the arc, and so far they don't have a ton to show for it. Only 7 points so far in all of the second half. Polly Addington and Kaylee Jackson in the game now for Chapman. Reagan Tollison checks it into Grace McDaniel, and now McDaniel slings it over to Addington, who hangs on. And now McDaniel finds Tollison, and man, it was on target, just didn't have enough distance on it. Chapman does hang on to the ball, though, and Addington will check this one in, gets it over to Tollison, and now Tollison driving, wants out. Can't find anybody, though, really under some heat. Gets it over to McDaniel, and McDaniel has that shot blocked, and it's taken away, only to be airmailed out of bounds. So Chapman will get it right back. 3:26 to play. McDaniel gets it inside to Harden, and that pass is tipped loose, and I think McDaniel's got it. And they're going to call that a foul against number 5 of the Red Devils. So that will make Clinton 6th of the half, I believe. Chapman has only fouled Clinton twice. 3:18 on the clock, more substitutions for the Lady Panthers. Katie Whitesides and Adeline West in the game now. Polly Addington to check this one in. A few subs for the Red Devils as well, 21 and 12 in the game now. And McDaniel slings that one over to Addington, up for grabs, jump ball, and it's going to go to Clinton. .313 on the clock. Now Addington subs out. She's replaced by Whitesides, I believe. Chapman has, to this point, not found a personnel group that's worked for them so far. Their defense has played quite well. They really have. It's just been, the shooting has been off the mark for most of the game. And now I think we got a timeout called by Clinton. No, they're just making a few more substitutions. 2:56 on the clock. Chapman 1 point away from being doubled. Kayla Harden will check this one into Whitesides, gets it over to McDaniel, and now McDaniel looking for Tollison. Tollison hangs on, tries to go inside the Whitesides, and Whitesides has that shot blocked, but it's going to be called a foul. Katie Whitesides headed to the line with 2:50 to go, and that will be Clinton's 7th foul, so Chapman in the bonus as well. First shot is good. Second is good as well. Back down to a 14-point game, but Clinton does have the ball. And I think, yep, timeout called by Chapman. So here we go. We'll see what Chapman got drawn up. Not a lot happening so far. Clinton booking it down the court, and Chapman playing tighter coverage, but not really going for the takeaways, and it looks like it's paid off. Gary gets called for traveling, so Chapman will get the ball back with 2:40 to go. Down by 14. And that pass to West. She lost it for a second, then gets it to Harden, and Harden shoots off the mark, a little to the right that time. And now Gary making her way down the court, spins out of trouble, and backs up, tries to get it inside, and that one's headed out of bounds. And they're going to call it Clinton ball. And Gary goes right for the shot. This one no good, brought in by Whitesides, who might want to get it to McDaniel, and McDaniel cannot hang on. Chapman sends it out of bounds yet again. 2:09 on the clock. Clinton has the ball. And Whitesides with the swat there. It'll stay with the Red Devils, and now a few more substitutions. And that shot, I think Gary got hit as she shot that one off the mark and brought in by West, who lost it, and lost it. Lost it once, then saved it, and then lost it a second time, and that was that. So right back to Clinton after getting that rebound. 1:45 on the clock. This one all but out of reach. Chapman still down by 5 possessions. And that shot blocked by Jackson and then taken away by Jackson. She gets it to McDaniel. And now McDaniel back to Jackson, who has a clear shot, sends it up, and Chapman finally able to knock some more points. 4-possession game, but it is a 12-point lead as opposed to 14. Under 90 seconds to go. Gary trying to box Jackson out and lost it, but they're going to say Jackson knocked it out of her hand, so it'll stay with Clinton. 75 seconds on the clock. And that one gets knocked out of bounds. Looked like it bounced off a 23 shin to me. I would have thought that'd be Chapman ball. Instead, they're going to give it to Clinton. 70 seconds on the clock. And Reagan Tollison getting ready to check in, but not before Gary's able to sink 2 more points. 35-21. 60 seconds on the clock. And McDaniel heaves it up. No. And brought back in by the Red Devils. Gary goes for it again. This one off the mark and batted into the arms of Jackson, who has a clear shot. Can she sink another one? Yes. 35-23 with 40 seconds left. And McDaniels takes it away. Great defensive play there by Chapman, and now Whitesides gets fouled. So Chapman with a chance to bring it within 10 here. In the bonus as well. That is the 8th time they've been fouled in this half, so I don't know if there's enough time to come back, but definitely enough time to make things interesting. 33 and a half seconds on the clock. Whiteside's first shot is no good. And now Madison Blackwell exiting the game to be replaced by Reagan Tollison. And Gary exiting the game for Clinton. And that shot is good, 35-24. And Chapman in hardcore turnover mode now. Nothing doing there, 31.6 on the clock. Clinton still has the ball. And a long pass brought in by the Red Devils. And now 22 gets it inside for the paint shot. No, and brought in by Grace McDaniel. Hightailing it down the sideline, gets it to Jackson, and Jackson overshoots that one. Up for grabs, bouncing around, and brought in by the Red Devils. That could do it. 12 seconds on the clock, and Clinton's looking for points until we get a traveling call against number 24, the Red Devils. 7.6 seconds to go in the game. And Harden flips it over to Whiteside. Whiteside splits some defenders, sends it up, and no. So that will bring an end to this one. If you like turnovers, you certainly came to the right place. 35-24 in a defensive slugfest. Clinton wins that one by 11. Wonder if we'll see a bit more offense in the boys matchup. That one should be tipping off in about 10 to 12 minutes, I would imagine. Yeah, they've got the clock set for 10 minutes. They're probably going to try and get that started right at 7:30. So go ahead and grab yourself something to eat or drink, and meet us back here in a few moments. Boys game, Chapman and Clinton coming up soon. All right, so here we go. Start of game number 2 tonight between the Panthers and the Red Devils. The girls played, I believe that game tipped off around 6:15 p.m. Clinton won that one 35-24. Hoping to see some more offense this time around. And Tavion Counts able to win the tip-off there for Chapman. Matthias Scott gets it outside the Dalton Mahaffey, and now Mahaffey, I think he thought about going for 3. Instead gets it back to Scott. And now Scott has that one bounce off his foot and crosses half court. Carrying called, and he'll go back to the Red Devils. And Clinton working the outside of the arc right now. Chapman doing what they can to avoid them. Going inside, and Clinton goes right for that three-pointer, off the mark and rebounded by number 20. That is Coleman Gray. And now Matthias Scott cuts inside, gets it back out to Gray. And now Gray has that window closed outside to Cunningham, then Scott, and then take it away. Number 5 of the Red Devils sinks that layup, and Clinton able to draw the first points of the game. Scott gets it outside to Coleman Gray, excuse me. And now Gray driving, wanted to go to Mahaffey, instead finds Scott. And now Scott really drove inside and then flips it out to Cunningham, almost lost it and now loses it. Back to Clinton. So here we go again, 4:40 on the clock. Clinton up by 2. Both defenses playing well so far. And now Clinton working from the inside. That shot bounces around and heads out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Panthers. And Gray flips it all the way down the court to Dalton Mahaffey. Mahaffey goes inside to Scott, and then Scott sends that right off the chest of a Clinton defender, making his way down the court and batted up, and now that's going to be a foul. Number 15 headed to the line for the Red Devils. And he'll have a chance to stretch the lead out to 2 possessions. And that first shot rolls out. Second shot no good as well, and I think there was a violation anyway. So it's headed back to Chapman with 4:19 on the clock. Coleman Gray will check this one in. Tavion Counts in the game. And Gray going to try to do it himself, but now stops, goes inside to Counts. Counts under some serious heat, and they're trying to set up Mahaffey. He's got a lane and overshoots it. Counts had a hand on it. Instead, it's rebounded by Clinton, and now still moving. And it looks like that shot kind of off kilter, and Counts able to get just enough under it to rebound that one. Mahaffey brings it in, gets it to Scott, and then Scott tried to get it to Counts. Bounces off his hands and is taken away by the Red Devils. Now Mahaffey, the last man to beat, and able to put enough pressure on him to force the bad shot, brought back in by the Panthers. And now Sean Cunningham, I don't know where he was headed with that one. Tried to thread the needle between 3 or 4 Clinton defenders at once, and it inevitably goes right back to him. 3:20 on the clock, and Matthias Scott with a heads-up play. Chapman able to take that one away, looking for their first points. Cunningham overshoots, rebounded by Mahaffey, and Scott has all day to set up for 3, but short hops it just off the rim. And so halfway through the first period, only 2 points between these teams. Clinton up 2-0. And Clinton has a man inside, no, and then Sean Cunningham knocks it out of bounds. Got some substitutions for both sides, it looks like. Sean Cunningham and Matthias Scott out of the game. Jacob Cogdell and Nigel Pate in. Coleman Gray put this one into play, gets it to Pate. And Pate really hightailing it, now takes a step back. Gonna drive inside, wants out, gets it to Mahaffey. Nice setup, and oh man, and Clinton saw that one on film. Blocked it, and then had way too much heat coming in on that shot. And now Chapman able to secure it again. Gray gonna drive inside, and that shot is blocked. They'll stay with the Panthers. Number 20 was out of bounds when he rebounded it. 2:17 on the clock. Nigel Pate to check this one in. Pate gets it to Cogdell, who wanted to go for 3. And instead they go inside. Counts, can't tip that one in. And it's brought back in by number 20. He's having one heck of a game so far, but can't sink that layup. And then it's almost taken away, but they're going to call out a foul. Dawson Waters in the game now in relief of Tavion Counts. Gray checks it into Cogdell, back to Gray, over to Pate. And now Pate thought he saw an opening, takes a step back, gets it to Mahaffey, inside to Waters now, and Waters, again the pressure, forces a high shot, and it's off the mark. Cogdell tried to nab a steal, couldn't do it. Clinton setting up. Not a lot doing. Now they're going to go inside. That shot blocked. And with 90 seconds to go in the first half, still only 2 points on the board between both teams, and another shot off the mark. Jump ball going in favor of Clinton here. Clock stops at 1:26. Sean Cunningham looking to re-enter the game. Yep, there he goes. Coleman Gray headed out. And now the officials getting a bit more foul intel on there. .86 seconds to go in the first period. Clinton looking for an opening down the court. Dalton Mahaffey trying to keep pace with number 12. And Mahaffey blocks that shot and gets it over to Pate. 70 seconds to go. Pate takes a step back, and they set up Cogdell for 3. And Jacob Cogdell had a shot to get. Oh, my! And another blocked shot from number 20, but this one is going to count as a foul. 1:07 to go in the first period. Sean Cunningham headed to the line. For Chapman's first points of the game, Cunningham, no. And now Clinton making a few more substitutions. Number 20 out for the time being. That's got to be a relief for this Chapman offense. He's been playing lights out so far. And Cunningham's second shot is on the money, 2-1 with 1:07 to go in the first. And now even more substitutions for Clinton. Most of the starting lineup back in the game. Number 11, and Coleman Gray did what he could to keep that one in bounds, but No dice, but right back to the Red Devils. 1 second comes off the clock, 66 in total left in the first. And number 15 sends it, and now they're headed across half court inside the paint. Made Waters miss, but I think he either got called for traveling or fouled somebody. And number 4, Clinton, looks like he's headed to the line. 58.1 seconds left in the first period of a game that has slowed down significantly over the past couple of minutes. Nigel Pate back in for the Panthers. This first shot off the mark. Matthias Scott getting ready to enter the game. And shot number 2 off as well. Score stays at 2-1. It is rebounded by Clinton, only for that shot to be blocked. And they're going to let Clinton hang on to it, though. And now trying to find an opening. They're going to get it over to 4. And now 4 back to 5. Just kind of flipping it around right now. Might be trying to set up 11 for something. And he almost lost it there. And now it's up for grabs. Nigel Pate with the swat, and he's got it. And no foul called. Matthias Scott rebounds it. Scott can't get it in. And now Clinton has it. And there's the foul. This one going against the Panthers. And nice catch there. 20 seconds on the clock. Clinton trying to burn as much of it as they can. Though I don't imagine either team has to be too terribly worried about the other side scoring. 12 seconds on the clock. Somebody got fouled. Looks like the ball is going to go back to Chapman, so we'll have one last chance to secure some points before the start of the second period. 2-1. That is not a typo. Far and above the lowest scoring 6 minutes I've ever seen in basketball. And Nigel Pate, I don't know how that one didn't go out of bounds, but yeah, it pretty much amounts to that. Cunningham didn't have enough time to get that shot off. So at the end of one, score is 2-1 in favor of Clinton. Quite a defensive showdown on our hands. Back in a few moments for the start of the second period. Sorry for the break there. Had to run back and get a picture of Clinton's roster. 4:50 on the clock. Really didn't miss much. Clinton able to notch 2 more points, but that's about it. 5-1, so still very much anybody's game. Chapman's just got to find a way to get some separation on offense. And right back at it. This is Kalaja Bird, number 11, lost his handle on it and sends it out of bounds. It will stay with the Red Devils though. Bird checks it into number 5, Kendrick Richardson. And Richardson finds number 23. Oh man, what a shot from downtown off the mark. Oh, and luck. That was MJ Henderson with the initial shot, and then number 15, CJ Young, with that second chance. Neither of them come up though. I'm getting a few messages asking if my scoreboard is wrong. No, it is right. It is 5-1. And another takeaway here. Matthias Scott got a free lane and gets fouled. Sinks it, and will have another shot coming up. Could this be the break Chapman needed? Back down to a 1-possession game. This one to bring it within 1 point. Dawson Waters getting ready to check in. Scott's shot, no. Rebounded by number 22 of Clinton. That's Kadon Crawford. And now Bird had that one tipped as he let go of it. Got it to Crawford though. And now Young driving inside, sends it up and got it. Back out to a 4-point lead for Clinton. Nigel Pate on the move, now slows down. Everybody in position. He flips it over to Cunningham. Nice setup, and Cunningham has that shot blocked. Henderson with a great defensive play. And how did he not get called for traveling? Oh my, he went about a quarter of the way across the court with the ball in his hand. Yeah, he had it tucked away and everything. That was a football run right there. No harm, no foul though. Chapman able to respond. Still back to a 4-point game, and Richardson almost lost his handle on it, and now it's loose. Sean Cunningham gets it back. Matthias Scott got Richardson to beat and tried to go for the sidestep, but they're going to call it a foul. Got swatted out of Scott's hand. Matthias Scott had a foul shot just a few moments ago, missed it. And they're lining up for a foul shot. Just kind of an odd formation right now. Tavion Count in the game for the Panthers. Dawson Waters still getting ready to check in. This to bring it within 1 score. That shot from Scott is no good. 3:13 on the clock in the second. And now a handful of substitutions for Clinton. Number 4, Quay Ryan in the game alongside number 20, Zay Johnson, who caused all sorts of headaches for that Chapman offense in the first period. It'll be interesting to see how they respond to that personnel change. That shot from Scott is good, so it's back down to a 1-score game. 3-pointer ties it up for Chapman, but until then, they're going to have to work on getting the ball back from Clinton on this possession. Dawson Waters has entered in relief of Matthias Scott. And Johnson has that pass taken away. Jacob Cogdell in some trouble, gets it to Waters, who gets it to Cunningham. And now Cunningham drives inside, and an ill-advised pass, still loose, and it'll go to Chapman. But check that. That is not Dawson Waters. That is number 32. I believe that's Riley Staten. Been out for quite a while. Good to see him ready to go again. I'll have to pull up the JV roster real quick. I've not seen Staten in a while, if that is him. I'll let you know when I find something. I've got a whole... Oh, my! Dalton Mahaffey with the shot of the game. Tied up at 9. And now... That was Quay Bryant trying to find a response score. Got fouled in the process. And now Bryant at the line. 2:38 on the clock. Clinton can retake the lead with a successful attempt here. First shot goes off the back of the rim. And Tavion Counts comes in for Riley Staten. Again, I believe that's Staten. I've got a whole folder of roster pictures I've taken over the season, and Chapman's JV one is buried in there somewhere. Until then, and Peyton Mahaffey not on the same page there. Ball goes out of bounds, and Clinton gets it right back. Richardson gets it over to number 20. That's Zay Johnson again. Back to Richardson, who, again, I don't know how he didn't get called for traveling. That's twice now. And now they call out a foul against Chapman. The crowd certainly none too happy about it. I'll have to consult the replay. See if I saw anything. I'm watching it now. Yeah, it could have gone either way. It was against Counts. I think they called it a block. I don't know. It looked to me like the guy ran into him, but tomato, tomato, I suppose. 10-9. Clinton is able to recapture the lead there. And Crawford's second shot, no good, but rebounded by Johnson. Johnson sends it up, can't connect, gets it over to Counts. And now Counts finds Pate. Pate takes a step back, drives inside, wants Mahaffey, and off the fingertips of Sean Cunningham, gets it over to Jacob Cogdill. Cogdill back to Cunningham, and Chapman is trying to find some kind of window. Cunningham wants to make one himself, can't do it, but it does go back to the Panthers. Now Nigel Pate for 3, short hops it, and it's rebounded by the Red Devils. Quay Ryan gets it over to Richardson, and Richardson puts it in. Back out to a 3-point lead for Clinton. And Cunningham winds up for 3. This one's short as well, and rebounded by Richardson. Right back to the Red Devils, looking to take a 2-possession lead, and they do. 14-9, Clinton with 4 unanswered. Or 5 unanswered, excuse me. Cunningham kind of taking a breather here. Now tries to split some defenders, goes up, off the mark, and brought back in again by the Red Devils. They have dominated the rebounds in both games so far. That long 2, though, off the mark, rebounded by the Red Devils, and now number 12, that is Devonta Cunningham, able to sink it. 16-9 with less than a minute to go. Dalton Mahaffey trying to get things knotted back up. Nothing happening there. Rebounded by Jacob Cogdill, who, had a lot of room, and, he's just going to shoot for 3. A breakdown in defensive coverage, and Clinton has yet to pay for it. I'm not really sure how Cogdill got that open, or at least for that long. But unable to sink the shot, though. Ryan Hunter in the game now in relief of Nigel Pate. 43.5 seconds to go in the second period. Chapman down by 3 possessions for the first time in this game. In the meantime, Richardson checks out, is replaced by Kalaja Bird. And Bird will check this one in. And Scott trying to go for the steal, and enough pressure. Bird lost the ball, and now with 30 seconds, Chapman gonna have a chance to do something. Mahaffey driving inside, and too much heat on that shot. Rebounded by the Red Devils. CJ Young gets it to Bird, who gets it back to Cunningham. And now Cunningham on the move, finds Bryant, finds Young on the outside, and Young misses the three. Rebounded by Scott. 12 seconds now. Chapman trying to get a few more points for the half. Ryan Hunter, no. And rebounded by the Red Devils. That's probably going to do it. Maybe time, nope. So that will bring an end to a pretty fast-paced, if low-scoring, first half. Clinton's going to go into the locker room up 16-9. And again, that's not a typo. After 2 periods, 16-9. Clinton up by 7 in yet another defensive showdown. We'll be back in 8 minutes for the start of the third. We'll see you then. right, so here we go. We'll see what Chapman drew up there in the locker room. General consensus, at least up here, was that they need to find a way to kind of slow the game down almost. Because one thing that was pointed out to me that I didn't realize is that Chapman has been, running up and down the court with Clinton all game long. And given how fast Clinton has carried them across the court, you gotta wonder how much conditioning is factoring into things. Dalton Mahaffey going right for the throat out of the gate and cannot connect. Rebounded by Zay Johnson. He gets it over to Richardson. And now Richardson finds Ryan Cunningham, almost able to take it away. Instead, it's going to be C.J. Young for the bank shot. This one off, up for grabs, and brought back in by Richardson. He gets it back to Young. And now Young driving inside and got whistles. Yeah, there's the traveling call. So 33 seconds come off the clock. Chapman does not surrender any points, and we'll see what the Panther offense is able to dial up there. Interesting to note that Clinton didn't actually go into the locker room during half. They really hung out on the bench for the most part. Not sure if that has any effect or logic behind it. It's an interesting thing to note. And Scott under some serious heat. Bryant doing a good job of sticking it to him with coverage. And now Cunningham going to try to find an open man, gets it to Mahaffey. Mahaffey finds Pate, but that pass kind of bobbled a bit. Pate drives inside, gets it to Scott, and now Scott goes inside, but he wants out, almost has it taken away, and now it's loose over to Pate, and again, Pate not quite ready for the pass. And Bryant really sticking it again. Scott with a no-look pass inside to Counts to get it to Pate, who wanted to go for three, and now just kind of sends it up on a wonky two, and that one didn't have much of a chance. Brought back in by the Red Devils. This is Kajala Bird, and that one up and no good. Rebounded by Mahaffey. He gets it to Scott, and now Scott finds Pate over to Mahaffey, to Pate again. And now they're going to drive inside. Pate sends it up. No. And now 22 of Clinton puts that one in. I don't think we've seen him all game. That is Kaydon Crawford. Saw a little bit of action there in the first half, but not much. The reserve able to sink the first points there for Clinton, and got a foul going against Chapman here. So Clinton will get the ball. Bird checks it back to Bryant. We'll check that. That is Richardson. Bryant is number 4. Now Richardson almost has that one taken away by Scott. They get it over to Bryant this time, and now Bryant finds Crawford, back to Bryant, driving over to Crawford again. Oh, what a shot by Kaydon Crawford, and Clinton starting to pour it on. Pate gets it to Cunningham, trying to go inside. Risky pass, but it sets Pate up for three, and it rolls out of the rim. Rebounded by Zay Johnson. And here we go again. Clinton setting up for three. Bryant, this one hits the backboard too early. Rebounded by Chapman. Pate gets it to Cunningham, who's going to try to do it himself. Goes up, and he's got the first points of the second half for Chapman. 10-point game, and I think the Panthers called a timeout. 2:51 on the clock, 21-11. 8:51 to go in total for this game. All right, so here we go. Bird going to check this one in. Coleman Gray back in the game now for Chapman. in relief of Matthias Scott. This is Crawford getting it back to Bird. Clinton now going to hightail it down the court. Bird turning on the afterburners and lost the ball. Sean Cunningham has it, takes a step back, gets it over to Gray. And now Gray finds Mahaffey for the long three, and too much on that one. Hits the back of the rim and bounces into the hands of Crawford. Now this is Richardson taking his time and driving inside. I don't know how these guys aren't getting called for carrying. Or traveling, excuse me. That has been 3 times. They've taken 4 or 5 steps and just gone, completely unchecked. It'll be interesting to see how that affects things moving forward. Until then, Chapman has the ball. 2:15 on the clock in the third. And now Nigel Pate trying to set something up on the outside. Mahaffey, I thought he had a lane there. It would have been a long shot, but he's tried longer in this game, and instead Gray tries to work from the inside and nothing doing. 2 minutes on the clock now. Richardson really taking his time getting down the court. Catches a block from C.J. Young, now drives inside again. Man, they are really letting them play with this dribbling tonight. 10 seconds come off the clock, 1:50 now. Harrison Bridges entering the game in relief of Tavion Counts for Chapman. Richardson, they're sending Bird across. Now they get it over to Crawford. That shot no good and rebounded by Coleman Gray. Almost taken back in by Richardson, but now he backs off. And Gray gets it, but Bridges back to Gray. Going to drive inside, flipping it out to Cunningham for 3. Sean Cunningham with a beautiful shot. And timeout taken by Clinton. 21-14. So really, in that last 80 seconds, not a lot of traction for either side. Chapman cuts the lead down from 10 to 7. That was about it. All right, so 90 seconds on the clock in the third period. Chapman's got the lead back down to 7, but Clinton has the ball. Oh, what a pass! And it is taken away by Nigel Pate, and then he lost it. And no signal from the official yet. He's headed over to the desk. We got a foul, and it's going against Clinton. So Chapman will indeed hang on to the ball. So Pate looking for an opening, catches a block from Bridges, but goes the other way, and now got a little confused. That's some open room now. They're motioning Gray across, but he doesn't go for him. Instead, I think they're trying to set up Mahaffey maybe, but that window closes. Back to Pate now, and he's going to drive inside, sends it up, and that one didn't have a chance. Rebounded by Bridges. Oh, and that one rolls out. Bridges rebounds it again, though. Cunningham sets up for 3. Got it! Sean Cunningham with another excellent shot. Clinton looking to respond quickly, and I think that's going to be a blocking foul against Bridges. Yeah, crowd doesn't like it, but I think that could have gone either way. Clinton gets the better of that call. Number 23 at the line. And first shot for MJ Henderson, no good. going to be a two-possession game regardless of what happens here. Nigel Pate and Dalton Mahaffey exiting. Jacob Cogdell and Matthias Scott in now. 51 seconds on the clock in the third. Second shot rolls out and rebounded for a moment. Okay, that is one heck of an interesting call. I wonder how you can get called for traveling when you're on your back and not moving. But Chapman gets the ball back, and Cunningham sends it right inside to Bridges, and he overshoots it. Still up for grabs. Coleman Gray, I don't know how he came up with that ball, and now Cogdell set up for three and then falls over, and they call him for traveling. Bird trying to shake Scott, gets it over to Johnson. 25 seconds on the clock in the third, and that shot well off the mark. Brought back in by Gray, 20 seconds. Chapman's probably going to run some clock unless they see something they really like. And yeah, now they're going to kind of slow things down. They'll probably start trying again with around 10 seconds. Oh, and we'll see who this one's going against. And they call it against Clinton, so Chapman will hang on to the ball. 10.4 seconds, so now I imagine they'll start trying to set something up. A few more substitutions for the Red Devils. Most notably, Richardson back in the game alongside CJ Young, and they're trying to set up Sean Cunningham, but Clinton sees through it and then fouls him. So Chapman going to get another chance to set one up. CJ Young called for the foul that time. 8.2 seconds to go. And Scott gets it to Cunningham a second time, but they're running out of time. Scott, I think the clock's weighing on him. Yeah, and just sends it up. No, and that will be the end of the third period. Kind of an anticlimactic conclusion to what was a very, very exciting third period. Both offenses looked like they were getting some traction, kind of stalled out there in the last minute or so. But we'll see if they can pick up the pace. 6 minutes to decide who wins this one. Chapman down by 4, but well within striking distance. 21-17. Back in a moment for the start of the fourth period. So here we go. 6 minutes on the clock. Clinton with the ball and a 4-minute lead. And they'll start out going inside. Oh, and up for grabs. They're going to call it a jump ball, and it's going to Chapman. Scott will check this one in. He gets it over to Nigel Pate. Pate and Tavion Counts in the game now for the Panthers. And Dalton Mahaffey, for a contested three, and he's got it! Excellent shot by Dalton Mahaffey. 9 straight points on 3-pointers. And Clinton almost lost it there. Johnson able to reel it back in, and now Richardson kind of examining that defense, catches a block from CJ Young, but now slows down. Trying to work 23. Instead, they're going to go back to Bird. Foul called. And it's going to be a push against Nigel Pate, I believe. Indeed. 5:18 on the clock now. And Bird really having a slant. Oh, and Mahaffey mistimed his jump. Frees up Young, and Young misses. Up for grabs, and then it's going to Chapman. Johnson could not bring that one in. So now the Panthers are going to have a chance to take their first lead since the first period on this possession. 1 point to tie. Oh, and it's loose! Brought in and then taken back in by Matthias Scott. Nice play, and then loose again, diving, still going. And Sean Cunningham has it for the time being. Man, what a turn of events, and now they call a double dribble. Oh, man. That was such an exciting play. I hate to see it come to an end, especially on something as mundane as that. I'm watching the replay, maybe the crowd really upset about that call. Oh, yeah, I see why they're upset. Yeah, there was no double dribble there at all. I don't know, maybe they made the wrong signal or something. Clinton's got it, driving inside, and maybe should have gotten called for traveling there. Instead, Clinton notches 2 points, trying to work Mahaffey, and Mahaffey gets fouled. What? Okay, I'm gonna go back on the replay again. We got a man down. And the crowd really getting livid with this one. And looks like our cameras didn't even catch that. Yeah, I'm not really sure how you can call out a foul against Clinton. Can't get a number. I hope that guy's okay, but not seeing anything there against Mahaffey. CJ Young is up. That's good to see, but I mean, he jumped right up on him, and now I think they've gone back on the call. So they might have signaled in the wrong direction by mistake there. 23-20. Okay, and so the call was actually traveling against Mahaffey. Again, I'm going to take a moment aside, look back at the replay on this, because I really didn't see anything. In the meantime, Chapman able to block a shot there. Again, our camera didn't really catch up with Mahaffey on the way down. It's tough to say. I don't really know that there was traveling there. 4:29 on the clock. Didn't really miss anything while I was looking at the replay. Again, I'm actually about 15 to 20 seconds ahead of the YouTube broadcast. There's a short delay in actually getting the signal out. So what you're seeing at home happened about 15, 20 seconds ago. That's how I can go back and look at the replay just by pulling up the video on YouTube. And so far, most of these contested fouls, Clinton has they've gotten very lucky on a couple of these calls, I'll say that much. Coleman Gray back in the game now for the Panthers. He flips it over to Nigel Pate. And Pate kind of fakes his man out, now takes another step back. Gonna wait for everybody to get down the court, looking to set something up. 4:20 on the clock. Pate wants to go to Cunningham, and now Cunningham backs away. Driving inside, goes behind the back, and has that shot blocked. They're gonna call it a foul. That's at least the second time that Zay Johnson has been fouled on a blocked shot. I think he's blocked 3 so far. Sean Cunningham at the line. First shot is good. And the second shot rolls in as well, back down to a 1-point game. And Bird checks this one in. Got 23, driving down the court, looking, and now takes a step back. Richardson goes inside and sends it out of bounds. Chapman's going to get it back. Crawford not ready for the pass. And here we go. Sean Cunningham, he's had the hot hand as of late, but instead this is going to be Coleman Gray driving inside to Counts with the fake out. Oh, and he's got it! Chapman has the lead. Still plenty of time on the clock. Oh, and a takeaway by Counts now. 3.5 minutes to go in this one. Pate, has it knocked out of his hand, but he'll stay with the Panthers. They call that a foul against Crawford. And 6 fouls on the board in this half for Clinton. Chapman closing in on the bonus. The Panthers have only fouled the Red Devils twice so far. And now some more substitutions. C.J. Young back in the game. Good to see he's okay after that tumble he took earlier, alongside Jaden Hill. First we've seen of him so far. Pate looking for an open man, going to get it right inside to Counts, who flips it back to Pate. Setting up, and Pate's got it! And Chapman able to take a 2-possession lead, but not before, I don't know if I think that was a timeout. It was, a timeout called by Clinton. 3:18 on the clock. Chapman finally back out in front, but will that lead hold, or can Clinton find some offense of their own? C.J. Young going to check this one in for the Red Devils. Everybody really bunched up there on the right side of the screen and really not even spreading out. Now they find a man open. It's Richardson. And catching a lot of heat from Cunningham. That's going to be a foul. Crowd's not happy about that one, but that was pretty obvious. And now they check it into Richardson again. Able to do a slightly better job of shaking Cunningham this time. Tried to get it into Hill, and Hill was not ready for it. Oh, and a long pass from Pate! Oh, and it's going back to Clinton. And it looks like, I don't think our camera kept up in time for that one. That one was going a mile a minute, but it was a great reception there by Gray. Had to jump up, looked like a football player making an end zone catch, kept it in bounds, batted it over to Mahaffey, and then Mahaffey accidentally knocked it out of bounds. So that's how Clinton got it. Now Bird goes up for the layup, and he's got it. Back down to a 1-score game. Chapman with the ball, under 3 to play. Coleman Gray really booking it, hands it off to Pate, and Pate wants to get it back. Instead, I think that's going to be a swatting foul against Young. And now Chapman in the bonus. So Nigel Pate headed to the line. 2:41 on the clock. First shot for Pate is good. One more to bring it into a 2-possession game. Zay Johnson enters the game in relief of MJ Henderson. And that shot no good. We still got a 1-score game. Rebounded by Hill. He gets it to Bird. And now Bird trying to make Pate miss. Gets it to, that's Richardson again. And Richardson catches a block from Young, but still slowing things down. Gets it outside to Bird, but Clinton moving backward. And again taking some more steps back. Trying to catch a block from Hill this time, and Bird's shot off the mark, but rebounded by Johnson. Oh, and Counts with an excellent block. Oh my. Tavion Counts. It's still Clinton ball, but that's certainly a momentum builder. And a lofty pass does end up back in the hands of Richardson. Definitely some risk there. Under 2 minutes now. Richardson driving inside. I don't know how that wasn't traveling. It's going to Chapman anyway, but man, Richardson in particular has been getting away with a lot. And now Sean Cunningham booking it down the court, running into a lot of traffic though, lost the ball, and it's going back to Clinton. There's some confusion on both ends. Neither team realized they had it. It's Chapman ball now. Jalen Hill out, replaced by Keaton Crawford. And Gray checks it into Pate all the way on the other side of the court. Minute 45 to go in this one. Cunningham driving inside, sends it over to Counts, and now Counts under some pressure and has it taken away. And Richardson, again, maybe another one where he could have gotten called for traveling. Instead, it's a 1-point game. Chapman still in the lead. 90 seconds to go. Gray for three. Too much backspin on that one, and it's going back to Clinton. Richardson. Oh, what a play by Gray. Pass was underthrown, and Coleman Gray able to take it off. Nigel Pate gets it over to Cunningham. And now, okay, so here we start getting into the 4D chess territory. How much clock does Chapman want to wind? Maybe not much. Cunningham able to sink the two-pointer. A bit slow to get up, and I think we got a timeout called by Clinton. Still a one-score game, 64 seconds on the clock, and this one's coming down to the wire. And so here we go. One of the lowest scoring games we've seen all season, and it's also one of the most tense. And Bird checks it to Young, checks it to Crawford. Crawford sends it up, and which way are they going to call this? It's going back to Clinton. Trying to work from the outside, going in, sending it up, and is that a foul? I think so. Yeah, I got a push called against Chapman. It's only their fourth foul of the game, though, so nobody headed to the line. Or is somebody headed to the line? Everybody looks kind of confused, and now C.J. Young almost reluctantly goes up there and says, "I'll shoot." In the meantime, I'm going to try and take a look at that call that went in favor of Clinton. And that shot missed by Young. And not really seeing anything on that one that went out of bounds. I think it could have gone either way, really. And the crowd really making some noise here. Still a one-possession game no matter what happens. And make it a two-point game. So 47.4 seconds left. And again, Chapman has an interesting decision to make here. How much clock do you want to run? And that's going to be a foul against Clinton, so Gray going to head to the line now. and he'll get one shot, but this is a huge one. 35 seconds left. This to make it a 2-score game. And he's got it! Oh, and he's going to get one more. I swear I saw him signal for one. So to make it a 5-point game, Gray sends it up. No, he looked kind of nervous on that one. Almost rebounded by Cunningham, and now it's going back to Clinton. 33.5 seconds left, and again, it's a, wait a second, hang on. When did Clinton get 28? Must have misread the scoreboard at some point. So, make it a 1-possession game. Clinton can't take the lead with the 3, but they're working from the inside. And they get the 2, but 24.4 seconds left. Chapman's not in the bonus yet. So, if Clinton fouls him, it won't really do anything but stop the clock. Again, you got to wonder how aggressive Chapman's going to get here, because a 3-pointer would effectively win the game now, but oh man, that decision might come back to haunt Clinton. If they can get a turnover, it's all fair, but if they don't get another possession, it's woulda, shoulda, coulda there for the Red Devils. Opting to go for the layup instead of the 3-point shot with 30 seconds left. We'll see how things turn out. Chapman's got the whiteboard out. Looks like, or no, Clinton's throwing something up too. All right. 24.4 seconds left. Chapman up by 1. And they have trailed for almost all the game. Oh, and a risky pass going down the court for Cunningham, who fell over. And then Pate scoops it up but sends it off the body of a defender. What? Of all the ways to hang on to the ball. And now Sean Cunningham slow to get up. Took a tumble, trying to reel in the pass on that last play. Matthias Scott got to come in and take his place. Cunningham's night probably over with only 18 seconds left. And I think we got another timeout taken by the Red Devils. 18.2 seconds on the clock. So Chapman, I misspoke earlier, they are in the bonus. It's Clinton that's not in the bonus. So Chapman has nothing to gain by fouling the Red Devils, but Clinton, if they foul Chapman, will get the ball back after at least one free throw attempt. But that being said, it is in Chapman's best interest to try and get this ball to Dalton Mahaffey or Nigel Pate on the check-in. They have been pretty consistent on free throws so far in this game. Sean Cunningham would be the number 1 choice, but he appears to be hurt. Coleman Gray had 2 very solid shots earlier as well. But on the other side, Clinton has got to find a way to get this ball back. And C.J. Young going to stick it to Gray with a lot of pressure already. Tavion Counts, Matthias Scott, Dalton Mahaffey, and Nigel Pate in the game, and they get it to Pate all the way on the other side of the court. And, oh man, they're playing 4 corners. They are in total 4 corners mode, and it took Clinton almost 10 seconds to get Scott fouled. Oh, they call him for a double dribble. I didn't really see anything there, but now 8.6 seconds left to go. Probably going to be the last possession here unless Chapman gets another turnover. And Scott driving inside, wants to do it himself. No, but rebound and still up for grabs. Clock is rolling and Chapman's won it! What a game! What a game! Wow! Chapman wins a slugfest with an excellent 4th quarter performance. What a run. Yeah, that was, man, one heck of a game. Something like that. So I think that's going to do it for us. Final score in the boys game, 31-30. Chapman wins it in a thriller that comes down to the final possession. Clinton comes up just short. So that is all for us today, but tomorrow, let me pull up the schedule because we've got 2 more events set to be streamed this week, both of them wrestling. Just got to double check on which way the schedule goes because I know one is at Chapman against Landrum and one is at Landrum against Chapman, so I got to see which one is which. So tomorrow, yes, we are back here at Chapman. It's going to be 5 p.m. wrestling against Landrum, and then on Thursday, February the 4th, on the Landrum High School Athletics channel, wrestling at Landrum against Chapman. We're streaming both wrestling events this week, assuming that they don't get canceled. And now, just to make sure, because there have been a lot of cancellations as of late, could be some more. Best way to stay up to date with all that is to, first of all, follow Chapman and Landrum's social media pages, but also make a point of subscribing to the Chapman High School and Landrum High School athletic channels. That way you will be personally notified every time we set up a new stream and every time we go live on one of those streams. So again, make sure you subscribe to both the Chapman and Landrum High School athletic channels. Just to recap again, tomorrow, back here on the Chapman channel, 5 p.m. wrestling against Landrum. Then on Thursday, February 4th, wrestling at 5 p.m. against Chapman on Landrum's channel. Until then, we will see you next time. I'm Luke Ruff signing off for Spartanburg School District 1. Have a